to his friend Voconius Romanus, early 97. Did you ever see anyone more faithful and abject than Marcus Regulus following Domitian's death? The crime, the crimes which he perpetrated under Domitian were no less than those in Nero's day, but he hid them more successfully. He began to be apprehensive that I was angry with him, and he was not mistaken, for I was angry. He had lent his support to the trial of Arulenus Rusticus, and had rejoiced it, and, and had rejoiced at his death to the point of publicly reciting and publishing a written version in which he launched an attack on Rusticus, even calling him the ape of the Stoics, and adding branded with Videlius' scar. You recognize his eloquence. His lambasting of Herennius Senecio was so immoderate that Matthius Carus asked him, "What concern of yours are my dead victims? Did I harass Crassus or Camerinus?" Regulus had led accusations against them in Nero's day. Regulus believed that I was angry at his behavior, and so he had not even invited me to his public reading. He also called with what hostility he had assailed me in Zentumvira court. I was apprehending on behalf of Arionilla, the wife of Timon, at the request of Arulenus Rusticus, and Regulus was on the opposing side. Part of our plea rested on the view of Matthius Modestus, that excellent man, who was then in exile for Domitian, had excluded him. Regulus, look you, comes forward and says, "I want to know your view of Modestus. You appreciate my danger. If, in reply, I had expressed approval, then discuss if I had expressed disapproval. I can only say that the gods were with me at that moment." I shall answer. I said, "If the Centumviral court is to pass judgment on him," he repeated, "I want to know your view of Modestus." I in turn said, it used to be the case that witnesses were questioned about the accused and not about the convicted. He made the third attempt. I am not asking now for your view of Modestus, but from your review of his patriotism. You asked me for my view, I said, but I regard it as improper even to ask questions about one already sentenced. He was silenced and was praised and congratulated for avoiding, on the one hand, damage to my reputation by giving a reply perhaps opportune, but certainly dishonest, and on the other, the trap set by so insidious occasion. So, being now terrified by his feelings of guilt, he let hold of Caecilius Celer and then the various Justus, begging them for force a reconciliation between us. This was not enough for him. He approached Spurina and addressed him in groveling entreaty, as is his most drunken manner when he is afraid. "Please visit Pliny at home early in the morning. Be sure to make it early in the morning, for I cannot bear the strain any longer, and so by any way you can that feels no anger towards me. I had just woken up when a messenger came from Spurina. I am coming to see you. You certainly aren't. You certainly aren't," I replied. "I will come to you." We ran into each other the colonnade of Livia as we were making for each other. He retailed Regulus' instructions and added a plea of his own, but brusquely, as befitted the best of men speaking on behalf of one wholly unlike him. I said to him, "You must decide for yourself what reply you think you should be made to Regulus. I must not deceive you. I am waiting for Maricus. He had not yet returned from exile, so I can't give you a reply either way, for I tend to do whatever he decides. It is right that he should take the lead and that I should go along with him. A day or two later, Regulus seems encountered me as we were paying a formal visit to the praetor. He came up behind me and asked to have a private word. He said that he felt that what he had said some time ago during a post in the centurial court was lodged up deep in my mind. That occasion was when he was replying to Satrius Rufus and myself. Satrius Rufus, who is no rival of Cicero and is satisfied with the style of utterance of our day. If I answered that I now realized that he had said that maliciously because he himself meeting it, but that the remark could have been interpreted as respectful. I myself do agree with Cicero, I said, and I am not content with the eloquence of our age, for I regard it as utterly stupid not to proceed of imitation and all that is best. But now that you remember this lawsuit, why have you forgotten the one in which you asked me for my view in the patriotism of Mettius Modestus? He grew markedly pale, though in fact he is always pale, and in faltering tones he said, "My question was designed to damage not you, but Modestus, not the vicious justice of the man, for he did not conceal his desire to damage an exile. He offered in addition a remarkable reason in letter which was read out before the Domitian. He said, Modestus wrote, Regulus, the most depraved of all two legislators, Modestus, had been wholly truthful in penning this. This was virtually the end of our conversation, for I had no wish to take the matter further. I wanted to keep all my cases open until Mauritius come. I am well aware that Regulus is due a reprimer, for he is a wealthy leader of affection, well regarded by many, and fear being an emotion stronger than affection. It is possible, however, that those supposed may be shaken and collapse, for the popularity of evil men is as fickle as the men themselves. However, to keep repeating what I have already said, I await Mauritius, a serious man of practical wisdom, whose many experiences have schooled him, the sort of man who can visualize the future of past events. My own decision on whether to take action or to remain quiet will rest on his advice. I have written this account to you because it is right that, in view of our shared affection, you should know not only all that I have done and said, but also what I plan to do. Farewell.